Now, obviously, we've all heard the saying, slow and steady wins the race, but if you switch up some of the words, it has a completely different meaning that shifted not only my perspective, but also my trajectory in my social media marketing agency. A previous mentor of mine, he ran an online coaching company that was doing about $850,000 a month. And for 6 months, I paid to talk to him once per week for an hour. Now, early on, one of the things that I asked him was how to scale at maximum speed, like the fastest, because I've seen people scale really fast. So I was asking him, how do you do this? How do you go that fast? Now, for one, he helped me do it strategically, but for two, he shared me this quote that, again, completely changed everything. The quote is, slow is steady, steady is fast. Now, before really diving deep into what exactly he was saying about this quote and some of the further details, I want to explain this to you in the form of numbers, because numbers make a lot of sense to me. Maybe they do to you, but regardless, this is so crazy. So let's just pretend that you double your business every single year, which, by the way, is like really doable. I've been growing at a rate of about a triple per year. Now, let me make sure you can see this, but yeah, kind of brutal, but let's say you're doing 10K per month, right? And in the next year, you double. The next year, you're doing 20K per month. So year one, 10K per month. Year two, 20K per month. Year three, 40K per month. Year four, 80K per month. Year five, 160K per month, starting to get kind of crazy. Year six, 320K per month. Year seven, 640K per month. Year eight, 1.28 million per month. Year 9, 2.5 million per month. Year 10, 5 million per month. Year 11, 10 million per month, right? Like, this is very real and very attainable, by the way. Very real, very attainable. I have a buddy who's the head of operations at a rapidly growing info product company right now. And no word of a lie, last year, 2022, January, they did 150K. June 2023, they just hit 6 million per month. Now, by the end of 2022, they were doing 2.5 million a month, which is almost a 17 times revenue increase within 12 months. So all you have to do is double your business once per year. And let me show you something even crazier, right? It was something like, I think it was year 11 was $10 million per month. Let's say that your first year in business, you do 2.5K per month. It only takes you 13 years to get to that point. Only 13 years, but it's $10 million a month. It's $120 million a year, right? Like half of people who get into SMMA or one of these opportunities just wants to make like 20K per month, 30K per month, maybe 50, 60. Most people. A very select few people really want to make serious money, but it doesn't even take that long term when you really think about it. Now, it's easier to make massive gains when your company is smaller. And by smaller, that depends on the size of the market. So if you're in a totally mass market, small might be 5 million per month, 3 million per month. But if you're in a smaller market, then small to you might be anywhere from 50 to 500K per month, for example. In those ranges, it can be really easy to scale really fast, like that one guy, but he was in arguably a bigger market than, let's say, the market of real estate agents, which is around 2 million people, by the way, in North America. So when he says slow is steady, steady is fast, what I'm not, the only thing is, he didn't even say anything to me about compounding. What he was saying to me is that some things just take time, and if you prepare your foundations better, then you can go further faster. So doing the things that feel like they're slow and feel like they're gonna slow you down are actually the things that can make you scale at warp speed. And I'll give you an ad campaign example. So let's say, you're running some kind of campaign where you have multiple different audiences that you're testing and trying to find out a winner. You find one winner, you want to aggressively scale it as much as possible, and that's your strat. You find one winning audience and explode it. Short term, great, you're gonna scale pretty quickly. Long term, when you cap that audience out, now what? You need to get more winning audiences, basically. So maybe when you're starting out with paid ads, you want to start out with totally random number, like it usually only takes a few grand to start out with paid ads. But let's say maybe you want to start out with 15 grand on testing instead of 5, even though you really only need 3 to 5. Let's play with more realistic numbers. Let's say instead of starting out with 3 grand, you want to start out with 6 grand, test double the audiences. Odds are you're going to get double the winners, kind of thing. Or maybe you want to test double the ads. Then you can get more winning ad audience combinations. And then from there, you can scale more things. Even though it might take you a month to do that test instead of taking you 2 weeks to do that test, you're unlocking more long-term growth as a result. So instead of trying to hit 50K next month, try to hit 100K per month by next year. And it depends on where you're at, so be careful with the growth rates that you're going after and do only what is super realistic and that kind of thing. I don't want to, if you're like brand new and you don't know what's up from down in entrepreneurship, I'm not trying to tell you to shoot for 100K a month. You need to get to 10K per month before you get to 50K per month, and so on and so forth. Go for the longer term, bigger gains. Don't just try to again, make a quick buck next month, because you're kind of screwing yourself. So play that slower, longer game that's going to get you bigger results over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, because that's what's going to actually get you there faster. And that's something that I had trouble wrapping my head around. So what might this mean for you? Well, for me, when I was starting out, what it was coming up with a completely new method for generating higher quality leads. Right now, what it is for me is, instead of just trying to scale my current YouTube ads as hard as I can, I'm running this pretty big, thorough test with a bunch of different messaging and a lot of different things. I mean, I wrote 116 different unique mechanisms for my business, and then I wrote another 65 unique messages talking to the marketplace. And I'm gonna consolidate them and run a bunch of tests to find out which ones work, so that I can just pick the best, and then use these messages everywhere on everything. And it's gonna take me a little while to do and get everything set up, but long term, it's dude, it's so easy. It's such easy scale. But right now it feels like nothing's happening, right? There isn't any immediate result that comes from it. If anything, I end up losing a couple $1,000s short term on all this testing, right? I don't know if it's gonna be a couple grand or a few hundred or whatever, but I'm losing money in the short term and it feels like nothing's happening. But long term, again, this is where these crazy gains come from. So slow is steady, steady is fast. Watch whatever's on screen.